Hi guys and gals and kittens, and welcome to the iNeuroMagic show. In this video I'm going to show you how we are using workflows to guide the AI and keep it on rails, so to speak, during code generation using vibe coding. Now, when you come to Magic, the first thing you should probably do is to click the quick start button after having supplied your OpenAI API key for the record. And if you're using the open source version, you need to configure your root user account and stuff like that. But I'm going to ignore this for this particular video. Now the system lists all of its internal functions, which are things or tools that you can have the LLM use. And most importantly is that we have a bunch of workflows here. Now, if I do list workflows, for instance, then the system is going to list up only the workflows. The workflows are kind of like predefined prompts that you can reach using natural language, and the one we want to play with in this particular video is the create auth endpoints. I want to execute the workflow. Let's see now what the system comes up with. Okay, so it's going to create a database, registration endpoint, email verification endpoint, authentication endpoint, etc. What should the name of your module be? I want to name it Facebook. Okay, so let's see what the system comes up with now. Yes, continue until done. So now what the system does, it checks to see if the Facebook database already exists. If it doesn't exist, then it creates it. Now it's created the database, and now it is going to generate the registration HTTP endpoint. Here you can see the prompt it is sending to the hyperlambda generator, and then it is saving it. And why didn't it succeed? Because the module didn't exist, so now it created the module. So we tried to save the file before it created the module, and the module is the folder inside of where it should save the file. So obviously that didn't work. But it's actually self-correcting. As long as you have an exception from your AI function containing some sort of like descriptive text, then the LLM is actually self-correcting during this process. And currently we're looking at 2 minutes and 37 seconds since I started this video, a little bit less for you guys, I presume. But now it's done. So 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Yes, give me the open API spec. And now if I had a front-end vibe coding tool, which is kind of like the point, then what I could do, I could just simply copy and paste this JSON into that front-end vibe coding tool and tell it to generate an HTTP service or an app or whatever based upon this JSON API. And the system is now completely done. We have 3 HTTP endpoints. It's created one database for us with 4 or 5 fields in one table. And it's created 3 API endpoints for us and everything. So let's have a look at what the system produced for us by first going to create SQL Studio and choosing the Facebook module here now. Here you can see 1 table, 5 fields. There's no data in the table yet. Now if you go to HyperID, we expand modules, we expand Facebook, we can see we have a register HTTP endpoint here. It actually registers a user, we can try it out. Who bar Thomas at gaiasol.com, and hopefully it's going to work. It did work. And then we have a verify email HTTP endpoint, which is only actually reached once you click the link that was being sent in the registration email during registrations. So it's impossible to get a verified email or verified user without actually providing a legitimate email address that you actually control in it. And here you can see that guy. I can't really test it because I need a front end and stuff like that to do that. And then we have the authenticate endpoint. Now, if I try to authenticate, of course, with my username and password, it's not going to work because the user is not currently verified. Right. All in all, the process took a little bit more than 2 minutes. System produced 45 lines of code plus 49, 96 lines of code, 141 lines of code for me in addition to a database. And that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.